Dwayne Bravo's calmness under pressure overshadowed Rahul's brilliance as West Indies clinched a thrilling one-run win in the first of two 2020 internationals. T20 is against India at the Central Broward Regional Park in Lauderhill, Florida on Saturday, August 27. Evan Lewis, who added 126 with opening partner Johnson Charles, scored the superb 100 off only 49 deliveries to register the fourth fastest 100 as he led the West Indies to what many thought was an ungettable total of 245. Charles, though, had to move down in the list for the fastest T20 100 as Rahul went on to bring up a century off 46 deliveries for the joint second fastest ton and brought down the equation to 8 off the final over. What followed was a terrific bowling effort by Bravo, who conceded only 6 runs in the final over of the game and dismissed MS Dhoni off the last delivery to help the Caribbean team take a 1-0 lead. The first impression one got looking at Indian openers Rohit Sharma and Ajinkya Rahane negotiating the first few deliveries was that there would be less muscle, less belligerence. But MS can be effective as well, which Rohit showcased as he easily lofted a few drives over the infield to set the tone in the chase. The opening partnership, however, was cut short when Rahane fell to Andre Russell in the third over. At first glance, the ramp shot play by Rahane appeared to be a clever and well-played one, but Bravo, as athletic as ever, covered much ground, dived and made it look much easier than it actually was. Virat Kohli did not take long to get going as he managed to force off Sagnal Badri in the fourth over. The next over silenced the huge Indian contingent as Bravo cajoled the Test skipper into bluffing an attempted pull shot through to the keeper. Undoubtedly, the magical Kohli was India's best bet to win the game. His departure made an already difficult task even more daunting. Rahul came in at the fall of Kohli's wicket and made his presence felt immediately, striking India's first 6 off the second ball he received, having dispatched his first for a 4 to take 16 off Sunil Narain's first over. The spinner would hardly have been used to such harsh treatment, but this was a surface devoid of turn and consistent inbounds, making things much easier for the batsman than the unfortunate bowler. Rohit, meanwhile, was in his elements, as he dealt in regular boundaries to bring up a 22-ball 50, the fourth fastest by an Indian player in T20 is. The Rohit-Rahul association, which yielded 89 runs, came to an abrupt end when Rohit 62 off 28 found Charles at deep mid-wicket, giving Pollard his only wicket of the game. India were now 137 for 3 and Dhoni strode to the wicket. Dhoni, who walked in next, hit his stride quickly and joined Rahul in a stirring partnership that had the crowds in raucous celebration. Each boundary elevated the noise level as pleadings of "we want the 6" were more often than not satisfied. By the time the 18th was completed, 24 was needed. This number was reduced by 16 by the end of the 19th, which also saw Rahul reach his 100 by sending Russell over backward point for 6. Coming off 46 deliveries, it meant he even outshone Lewis by making the joint second fastest century in T20 is. 8 were required from the last over and Marlon Sagnals decided to make it harder for his team by dropping Dhoni off the first delivery. But, as things turned out, it was Bravo's magic that came to the fore, and with 2 needed off the last ball, Sagnals redeemed himself by taking the catch offered by Dhoni at short third man. Earlier, Chris Gale's absence due to an injury meant that Lewis got a chance, and he made sure not to waste it. Before he got going, it was Charles, playing in his 30th T20I, who began like a rocket. The day's second, third and sixth legal deliveries, bowled by Mohammad Shami, was struck for 6, 4 and 4 respectively. Sent in to bat by MS Dhoni, West Indies raced away to 24 in the first 2 overs, with Charles scoring 21 off 9 deliveries. Lewis soon joined the fun, but Charles remained the main protagonist, his foot planted firmly on the accelerator. At the end of the power play, West Indies reached 78 for no wicket, with Charles cruising on 51 after striking Ravichandran Ashwin for 2 sixes in his first over. But if India thought the end of the power play overs would offer any respite, they were made to think again. Lewis had now fully hit his stride and greeted Ravindra Jadeja's 2 first deliveries with mighty hits for 6 to continue the onslaught. But just when it appeared that neither batsman would get out and the West Indies would make a million, Charles departed, bowled by Shami off an inside edge as he tried to play a low full toss on off stump through the left side. It seemed a wasted opportunity with an easy century in the offing. Still, his 79 from 33 delivery was well made. At the halfway mark, West Indies were 132 for 1, with Lewis bringing up his 50 off 25 balls. The batsman took his hitting to the next level, when he carded 5 sixes off Stuart Beneath in the 11th over, which yielded 32. A short while later, the Trinidadian, playing only his second T20I, reached his maiden century with a single off Jadeja before falling to the left-arm spinner. Andrew Russell, who walked at number 3, added to India's woes but couldn't do too much damage, falling for a 12-ball 22. West Indies rearranged the batting order, trying to capitalize on the belligerent start, and sent Pollard in next. The hard-hitting all-rounder fell in the final over for a 15-ball 22, bowled by Bumrah. Carlos Brathwaite was run out for 14 and Simmons was bowled by Bumrah without scoring as West Indies ended up with 15 to 20 runs less than what they would have hoped for, but it proved to be sufficient in the end. For the fans in Florida, they couldn't have asked for a more thrilling game, which saw a total of 489 runs being scored. West Indies made what thought to be a highly foreboding total. That India, playing their maiden international game in the USA, got that close was down to the remarkable batting from Rohit, Dhoni, and especially Rahul. Bravo made all the difference in the end. Brief scores: West Indies 245 6 in 20 overs, Evan Lewis 100, Johnson Charles 79, Ravindra Jadeja 2-39, Jeffrey Bumrah 2-47 beat India 240 for 4th in 20 overs, Rahul 110 *, Rohit Sharma 62, MS Dhoni 43 *, Dwayne Bravo 2-37 by 1 run.